Imagine it's early morning. You're on your way to work. Or maybe you're meeting a friend. You walk into your favorite coffee shop. The smell of freshly brewed coffee fills the room. The menu hangs above the counter. You order a latte. The barista smiles. They grind the coffee beans. Steam the milk. Pour everything into a paper cup. Place a lid on top. Call your name. Less than 2 minutes later, your coffee is ready. It feels like one of the simplest purchases you'll make all day. You tap your card. $5. You grab your drink and walk out. But here's the question. If it only took 2 minutes to make, why did it cost $5? Did the coffee shop just make $5? That's what most people assume. But that's not how the business works. Because before your coffee ever reached the counter, someone else had already done months of work. To understand where your $5 really goes, we have to leave the coffee shop completely. We have to travel to where coffee actually begins, thousands of miles away, high in the mountains of countries like Brazil, Colombia, Ethiopia, Vietnam, and many others. This is where coffee starts. Not as roasted beans, not as espresso, not as a latte, but as bright red coffee cherries growing on trees. Every cup of coffee begins here, long before it reaches your hands. Coffee farmers spend months caring for these trees. They prepare the soil, protect the crops, watch the weather carefully. Too much rain can damage the harvest. Too little rain can reduce production. Pests can destroy entire fields. Changing temperatures affect the quality of the beans. Growing coffee is slow. It's unpredictable. And every season carries risk. When the cherries finally ripen, the harvest begins. In many regions, workers pick the cherries by hand, one tree at a time, one branch at a time. The best cherries are carefully selected. The unripe ones are left behind. Because quality starts with the harvest. Those freshly picked cherries still aren't coffee. Not yet. Inside each cherry are the seeds. Those seeds will eventually become the coffee beans we recognize. But first, they have to be processed. The fruit surrounding the beans is removed. The beans are washed, or sometimes dried naturally in the sun, depending on the method used. Then they spend days, sometimes weeks, drying until the moisture reaches the correct level. Only then can they be sorted. Workers inspect thousands of beans. Damaged beans are removed. Lower quality beans are separated. The remaining beans are graded based on size, weight, color, and quality. Already, your $5 has helped support farmers, harvest workers, processing facilities, and quality inspectors, and the coffee hasn't even left the farm yet. Most people think they're paying for coffee, but they're actually paying for months of farming, hard physical labor, agricultural knowledge, equipment, land, and countless hours of work that happened long before they placed an order. And surprisingly, the coffee farm is only the beginning, because those beans still have an incredible journey ahead. They'll travel across oceans, pass through ports, move through warehouses, reach professional roasters, and finally arrive at the coffee shop where you bought your drink. Only then can someone spend 2 minutes turning them into your morning coffee. The coffee beans have finally arrived. They're sitting inside the coffee shop. For most customers, this feels like the beginning of the story. But for the business, it's closer to the end. Because now the cafe has to transform those roasted beans into the drink you're about to enjoy. That transformation looks simple. A barista scoops coffee beans into a grinder. The grinder crushes them into fine grounds. The coffee is packed into a portafilter, locked into the espresso machine. Hot water is forced through the grounds under high pressure. Within seconds, rich espresso flows into the cup. Milk is poured into a steaming pitcher. Steam heats it to the perfect temperature. The milk becomes smooth and creamy. The espresso and milk are combined. A lid is placed on the cup. Your name is called. It feels effortless. But behind those 2 minutes is an enormous investment. Let's start with the espresso machine. The machine sitting on the counter isn't an ordinary kitchen appliance. Professional espresso machines are built to produce hundreds of drinks every day. They must maintain precise pressure, stable temperature, and consistent quality from morning until closing time. They require regular servicing, replacement parts, cleaning, water filters, and periodic maintenance. Next to it sits the coffee grinder. Its job isn't simply to crush beans. It must produce grounds with remarkable consistency. If the grind is too coarse, the coffee tastes weak, too fine, and it becomes bitter. Now there are the ingredients beyond the coffee itself. Fresh milk, oat milk, almond milk, soy milk, chocolate, vanilla syrup, caramel syrup, sugar, sweeteners, whipped cream. Every ingredient has to be purchased, stored, kept fresh, and replaced before it runs out. Even the cup has a cost. The paper cup, the plastic lid, the sleeve that protects your hand, the napkins, the wooden stirrer, the takeaway bag. Individually, each item seems inexpensive. Together, they become another ongoing business expense. Now look around the coffee shop. The lights are on. The air conditioning is running. The Wi-Fi is working. The refrigerators keep milk cold. The dishwasher cleans reusable cups. The water filtration system supplies clean water. The coffee machine stays heated all day, even when no customers are ordering. Every hour the cafe is open. Money is being spent. And then there are the people. The barista who greeted you. The person preparing pastries. The cashier. The cleaner who keeps every table spotless. The manager ordering inventory. Behind every coffee served is a team of people making the experience possible. Employees don't get paid only when coffee is sold. They receive wages throughout the day, even during quiet hours. Training new staff also costs money. Experienced baristas spend time teaching new employees. That training improves quality, but it also adds another cost to running the business. Now consider the building itself. Coffee shops are often located where people naturally gather. Busy streets, office districts, shopping centers, train stations, airports. These locations attract customers, but they also come with higher rent. The cafe isn't paying only for four walls and a roof. It's paying for visibility, convenience, and access to customers. Then come the ongoing expenses. Insurance, internet service, cleaning supplies, furniture, menu boards, point-of-sale systems, accounting software, security cameras, equipment maintenance, licenses, business permits. Every month, the bills continue arriving, whether the cafe is busy or quiet. Now imagine something unexpected happens. A refrigerator stops working. Milk spoils overnight. The espresso machine needs repairs. A water pipe leaks. Business slows during bad weather. These problems don't stop the expenses. They simply reduce the money coming in while costs continue. Most customers never see these challenges. They only see a finished cup of coffee. But hidden behind every purchase is a business constantly balancing income against expenses. At this point, something important becomes clear. Your $5 isn't paying for one cup of coffee. It's helping support an entire operation, from the farmer who planted the coffee tree to the barista handing you your drink. Every stage depends on the one before it. And yet, we still haven't answered the biggest question. After paying the farmers, the shipping companies, the roasters, the employees, the rent, the equipment, the tensions, and every other expense, how much of your $5 actually becomes profit? Let's return to that original $5 bill and follow every dollar to its final destination. Imagine placing it on a table. Instead of staying in the coffee shop's cash register, it immediately begins to split into smaller pieces. One part travels back to the companies that supplied the coffee beans. Those suppliers eventually pay the exporters. The exporters pay the cooperatives. The cooperatives pay the farmers. Your purchase helps begin the cycle all over again. Another portion pays the distributors, who delivered the roasted coffee to the cafe. Another helps cover shipping costs that move the beans across oceans. Another helps pay for roasting, packaging, and quality control. Before your coffee even reached the cafe, a large part of your $5 had already been committed. But the journey doesn't stop there. Inside the coffee shop, another portion helps pay for fresh milk, syrups, sugar, paper cups, plastic lids, napkins, cleaning supplies, water, electricity, internet. Every drink uses a little of each. Then come the people. The barista who greeted you, the cashier who processed your payment, the manager ordering inventory, the cleaner preparing the cafe before opening. Their wages are part of every cup that's sold. Another portion helps pay the rent. For many cafes, rent is one of the biggest monthly expenses. A great location brings more customers, but it also costs far more to operate. Then there are the machines, the espresso machine, the grinder, the refrigerators, the dishwasher. These aren't one-time purchases. They require servicing, repairs, replacement parts, and eventually, replacement. Even the way you paid has a cost. When you tap your card or phone, banks and payment processors usually charge a fee to handle the transaction. It's only a small amount per purchase, but across thousands of coffees, those fees become another operating expense. And finally, there are the costs nobody plans for. Milk that expires before it's used, pastries that don't sell, broken cups, equipment failures, unexpected repairs, quiet days when customers simply don't walk through the door. The cafe continues paying bills, whether sales are high or low. Now look back at your original $5. It no longer looks like $5 for one drink. It looks like an entire economic system. One purchase, supporting farmers, processors, exporters, shipping companies, importers, roasters, packaging manufacturers, distributors, utility companies, landlords, equipment manufacturers, technology providers, banks, and employees. Only after every one of those costs has been covered can anything be called profit. That's one of the biggest misconceptions about businesses. People often see a busy cafe with customers lining up outside. They assume every coffee sold creates huge profits. But high sales don't automatically mean high earnings. Revenue is simply the money coming into a business. Profit is what's left after paying for everything required to keep that business running. Those are two very different numbers. Many successful cafes don't survive because they make huge profits on every cup. They survive because they serve hundreds, or even thousands, of cups consistently. Small profits, repeated many times, create a sustainable business. That's the real economics behind a $5 coffee. So the next time you walk into a cafe, order your favorite drink, and tap your card. Remember, you're not paying only for coffee. You're paying for months of farming, global transportation, skilled roasting, professional equipment, dedicated employees, a physical location, utilities, and an entire supply chain working together to place one warm cup into your hands. Every sip tells the story of a global business, and every purchase hides an economy that most people never see. Thank you for following the money. If you enjoyed uncovering the hidden economics behind your daily coffee, subscribe and join us for the next episode. Because next time, we're following the money behind something millions of people buy every single day. You pay $15 for a fast food meal, the burger, the fries, the drink. It seems simple, but where does that $15 actually go? We'll follow every dollar. From the farm, to the factory, to the restaurant, to your tray. Until then, keep asking one simple question. Where does the money actually go?